Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the countryside, there were two best friends, Tom and John. They had grown up together and had always been inseparable. As they grew older, they realized that they didn't have much in common with their own families, but they had each other, and that was enough. Years passed, and they both went their separate ways. Tom became a successful businessman in the city, while John decided to stay in the village and become a farmer. Despite the distance, they remained close and talked on the phone every week. One day, Tom received a call from John's wife. She told him that John had fallen ill and was in the hospital. Tom immediately booked a flight to the village to be by his friend's side. When Tom arrived at the hospital, he was devastated to see John lying in a hospital bed, hooked up to machines. Tom spent the next few days by his friend's side, holding his hand and talking to him. On the fourth day, John woke up and smiled at Tom. They spent the next few hours catching up on old times, laughing and reminiscing. As the sun began to set, John's wife and children arrived at the hospital. Tom got up to leave, but John asked him to stay. "You're my family, Tom," he said. "I don't want you to leave." Tom was touched by John's words and decided to stay a little longer. As the night wore on, John's condition deteriorated. His family huddled around his bed, praying for a miracle. Tom stood in the corner of the room, watching in despair. Suddenly, John's hand shot up in the air and he gasped for breath. His family and Tom rushed to his side, but it was too late. John had passed away. Tom was devastated, but he realized that John was right. Friends were the family they had chosen for themselves, and he was grateful for the time he had spent with his best friend. As Tom walked out of the hospital, he felt a sense of loss and grief, but he also felt a sense of peace, knowing that he had been there for his friend in his final moments. From that day on, he knew that he would always cherish the friendships in his life and treat them as if they were his own family.